So as usual, the first step is to just drag our truck image into Modo. Drag and drop, and here it is. And I'm gonna select it as an item, so number 5. Change the projection type from front to right. That way it's gonna be on our side view axis, and then I can press W and move it to the side a little bit. And of course we have dark black lines here, which means that's our center. So I'm gonna select a cube, and I'm clicking up on my mesh layer up on the top right, and then I'm clicking on the cube and hold down Control and drag anywhere. So this is good. I'm gonna press number 3 to get polygons. Now I can double click this, which says 6 polygons selected, or if I press escape it says all polygons selected, which means even though I have nothing selected, I have everything selected. And I'm going to center it with a special little menu here called, it's going to be Control Shift Space, and all. So that puts it right there onto the middle of that line. So this thing is pretty boxy. Maybe I'll start off with the overall body shape of it. So maybe squish it. This is R to get this tool, which is called Scale. And then drag the green one and drag the blue one. And again, since I have nothing selected now, it's transforming everything at the same time, which is great. Let's see, I'm gonna put in 2 divisions here, which are called loop slices. So that's gonna be under Mesh Edit, Loop Slice. And here you can see the shortcut, Alt-C, click. And I also have more shortcuts here, A and D, as you can see here. If you want to adjust this, you can change the mode from free to symmetry, and then when you drag you can adjust that. If you click uniform, it goes exactly into thirds, but I think this is good for now. So again, that's Alt-C, and then escape once to get out of the tool, and escape twice to get out of the selection. I'm going to try to build this little top bar here, which is pretty much the same thing, but I can reuse some of the geometry I have here already. So if I press number 3 and just click one of these, copy paste, Control C, Control V, W for move it up. And again, for you guys that are on Mac, Control C, Control V, not Command C, Command V for copy paste. Okay, so now R for scale again, and we're using the blue one. And now number 2 to get edges. And let's say I want to work symmetrically here, so on this side plus the other side. To do that, I can hold Control Shift and V, which brings up my symmetry options. So if I'm holding this down, now I want to use X symmetry, and the way you can check which direction you want is just look down here on the bottom left corner, and you can see that the X line is pointing the direction that we want here. So Control Shift V, X, and then I can pick here, and you can see that it also picked the other side. So now I'm going to press Z for edge extend, which basically makes you a new edge there. And now we can select that polygon with number 3, move it over a bit. Maybe Z again, go in. Z one more time, or 2 times actually, to create a new one. And then up here on the corners, it looks like there's a big chamfer there. So I can press B for the bevel tool and just drag. And just make sure that this round level is on 0. Again, you press D to increase, A to decrease, just like we did on, on the loop slice here. So remember, with the loop slice, I do Alt-C, click A and D to increase or decrease. So remember, that's gonna be the same for any tool, if that's applicable. So now let's give this piece some thickness. So just double click it, Shift X. Now I'm dragging in. That is the thicken tool. Alright. Now I'm pressing number 3, clicking there. And to select this piece down here, I could move my mouse down and hold shift to select it, or I can use my middle mouse button. So with middle mouse, you just drag and that's your selection. And you keep in mind you have to drag completely enclosing that one polygon there, otherwise it won't select it. So now I can see that this part here is thicker than the upper part, so I'm gonna press W for move, and let me grab this one too and move a little bit this way. Maybe this can go up. Maybe this way. Did I make an optical illusion drawing again? Okay, there we go. I'm gonna copy this front part. So number 3, click, Control C, Control V, W. And then Shift X to thicken it, which turns it into a cube. And I'll just bury that in here. Or actually no, let me leave it over here. B again will make an extra edge there, so let me do that again. So copy, paste, move, Control C, Control V, W, move it up, move it in, and then Shift X to create an enclosed cube, and then B to bevel that face out a little bit more. So now I'm going to press number 3, Shift up to grow that selection, Shift down to subtract, Shift up to grow, and move it over. And the idea here is I can, since we made that extra segment here with we'll be able to drag it out a little bit and make a shape. Okay, so let's move this down a little bit. And it looks like there's a cylinder up top, so let me grab the cylinder tool up here. And there's a couple options here. Just make sure that the sides is set to let's say 64 sides and 1 segment. And let's point the camera downwards and hold down Control and drag. Okay, so you see that it made 2 of them, which is because symmetry is still on. So just V to turn it off. So pressing V will toggle symmetry on and off. Control Shift V is to change the direction of the symmetry. So now that it's off, I pressed V until that thing turned off, and then I can double click that, press delete. If you're on 801, I think it's the same thing actually. If not, just Control Shift V and X again. So now I can grab this one, and to center it, I'm gonna reuse that old menu, Control Shift Space this time, and look for X. I want to center it on X. Now I'm gonna move, so W, move, R for scale, drag it down, W for move, drag it up, R for scale, drag, okay, escape twice to get once to get out of the tool and once to get out of your selection. So let's also make these two cylinders down here. So I'm going to grab that again. And since they're smaller than this top one, I think we can get away with maybe 32 sides instead of 64. So I'm going to, again, face my camera towards the direction I want the cylinder to be, which is from this front view. And actually this time I do want symmetry on so I can get both sides at the same time. So again, that's Control Shift V and X. Now when I control drag, I get two. And let's see, it seems like there's a cap on these, so I'm going to press B, use the blue one and the red one. And then double click these, W, move them back, and actually they need to go down too. So let's pick these two, number 3, pick these two. So how about this, if let's move this thing all the way down to here, and then make a cutter. And also let me turn off this grid. That's Control 1, holding down Control 1, and I can check toggle grid. So now I'm going to pick this, copy, paste, move, and R for scale. It's move. Since I'm on symmetry, I can't scale that in that way. So now Shift X to thicken it. This is going to be a cut into the front there. So let me pick these two parts by double clicking them, holding down Shift, double clicking, and then Shift H will hide everything else, including those two little cylinders. So now all I have to do is go in here and make that cutout shape that I see in the front right here. It looks kind of like a mouth or something, so it's like, there's the mouth. It seems to angle up a little bit, and then also let's go here. That's B for bevel, B for bevel again, side view. So it's kind of like this kind of shape, S shape, and then Control Q to cut it out. Control Q. Alright, so let's see. And you can always adjust this after. So I think this jaw part is too wide. There's also two little rectangles there, so let me do that real quick. Since I'm on symmetry, maybe it's easier for me to just drag out using the cube tool. Drag that out and move it over. Shift X, double click, move, R, drag. You can drag anywhere on the screen to scale it. Okay, escape, escape, and now press U to unhide all the other stuff. Okay. What else? Down here we have some more structure under the main body, so let's grab these three and uh-oh, what's that? Okay, let me delete that. I don't know where that's coming from. Sorry, that's backspace. So number 2 and then backspace to get rid of that. So grab these three and let's bevel down a little bit, in a little bit. Oh, okay. So see how they're all separating like this, which is not exactly what we want. I'm gonna go over to the left and check group, while which is an option under bevel. So group, and there we go. That's all together now. And now let's do B, which created a new one. Oh shoot, and it turned off group again. Let me check that on. Weird. It should remember that stuff. Anyway. Okay, good. The back edge, number 2 for edge, move it up. And let's see, these three here I think can taper in a little bit. And let's say I wanted to do the same thing here with these two, but the problem is that Shift H to hide everything else. The problem, as you can see, is that this part up here is not liking it. So all we have to do is connect some edges up here, and I can press C for the edge slice, which is like, it lets you draw lines. So all I have to do is hover over this edge here, drag down, hover over this edge here, drag down, and let me try to make it straight, horizontal, and this one, and then this one. Escape, escape. And if you double click that, should be all connected. Okay, so U for unhide. Now I should be able to pick these two and move them in without disrupting the whole rest of the body. And maybe I'll just try to match up this angle here with this angle here. Okay, and maybe the top also, let's B for bevel. Oh man, why is this not remembering? Use the red one and the blue one. Escape, escape.